Hey YouTube, so I'm here to do my week 24 update, and last week I weighed 283.8 pounds and this week I weighed 280.4 pounds, so that's a 3.4 pound loss, and a total since surgery of 90.6 pounds. So I'm definitely very excited and happy about that. In 2 more weeks, on the 22nd, I will be 6 months since having gastric bypass surgery. And like I said in a previous video, my goal was to lose 100 pounds in 6 months. And I'm pretty sure I'm not going to make it because I'm 9.4 pounds away. Granted, that could still happen in 2 weeks. I would be completely ecstatic if it happened, but honestly, you know, I'm really happy with the 90.6 pounds, and I know in the next 2 weeks I'll lose some anyway, so I'll be even closer to that 100 pound goal. So, you know, looking back, even like 3 months ago, like at my 2 or 3 month pound, you know, since a gastric bypass, to even think now that I would be okay with not making that goal is kind of, you know, crazy, because I know back when I was 2 or 3 months, I was just like always down on myself, like, oh, I'm not going to be able to lose that much in this time, oh, the weight loss is going so slow. But I don't know, it just seems to me like the further along I get, the more okay I am with losing at a little bit of a slower rate than some people are. I think part of it is, even though I hate exercise and some weeks I may not accomplish getting all my exercise in, which this week I actually did. I did all 5 days, which I'm really happy with myself about. On the 5th day, I almost didn't do it. I kind of kept putting it off and putting it off throughout the day, and granted I could have done it earlier in the day, but like I say, I was putting it off. So finally, like at nighttime, I was like, no, you've got to go do this. You know, you made this goal and you're gonna accomplish it. So I'm really glad I did. And like I say, every week is different. I take different days off of working out. Like I may work out Monday, Tuesday, take Wednesday off. I may take Monday off. A lot of the time I do take Monday off because that is my therapy day, and that's kind of like a really overwhelming emotional day for me. So usually I do take Monday off. This week I had to switch my therapy to Wednesday, so I'm probably gonna take Wednesday off just to kind of, you know, have a break, relax. But yeah, back like when I was 2 or 3 months after surgery, I was just really hard on myself. And I think not only going through this process, but possibly going through therapy, like I'm still hard on myself, don't get me wrong, but I think I'm starting to not be as hard. I think I'm starting to be a little more realistic with myself that, you know, hey, it's okay if you don't, you know, make your goal, as long as you are trying your best and doing everything you can, and even after you have a mess up or slip up, getting back on track, that's what matters, because in the long run, that's what's going to keep off the weight. To not like sitting there constantly stressed and worried, you know, just honestly trying your best. And I have to say, in any other diet previous gastric bypass surgery, you know, like if I messed up, I would get so hard on myself and so down about it that it would take me several days to get back on the bandwagon, where it happens a little bit faster now, which is a good thing. And like I say, I think it is partly because of the surgery, and you're like, you can't eat as much because your stomach is smaller and you feel sick, but you know, also like, oh, I spent all this money, I don't want to like just throw it down the tube. But I think the other part in that for me is I've come such a long way in therapy. And even with therapy, like thinking like 6 months, like I started therapy like literally right before gastric bypass surgery. I would say maybe 2-3 weeks, maybe a month before it. So to look back over the last 6 months, I have come so far in therapy, and granted, I still have a long way to go to get through my past issues and not constantly be thinking about food, thinking about the next meal. But to look from where I've come to now is amazing. It's been hard. It really, really has. It's gastric bypass is not an easy way out. It's hard. It's like, granted, you can't eat as much, but you still have to do the work. You still have to exercise. You still have to count calories and protein. So it literally is like you're on your own diet. Not your own diet, but you're on a diet. So it's still hard work. You can't just go and eat whatever you want and be like, okay, I'm gonna lose weight. It's not gonna work like that. Like, you can't go eat a whole cake and be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna lose 5 pounds this week. It's not gonna happen. So anyway, yeah, 2 more weeks and it'll be my 6 months. I'm definitely going to show some pictures of how I've changed. I've taken pictures here and there with one of my support groups. They take a monthly picture. So I have that since November, so like a month after gastric bypass surgery and on. I do have some like pictures of myself that I took before. I don't have a whole lot of body shots, to be honest with you, just because I hated the way I looked. I mean, let's be honest. So they're more face shots. Granted, I didn't like how big my face was, but it was better than my big hanging belly. So I'm pretty sure I can find some body shots though. So I'm excited to kind of reflect over definitely how far I have come and see the difference, because I already see the difference so much in pictures. I still have a hard time seeing it in the mirror. I think part of that is I see myself every day, and in a 6-month time, that's pretty quickly. So I don't think my brain has caught up to my body yet. So I know the more I lose, the more I will see it. I do see it some, but not as much as I think other people do. So, so back to this week. I'm starting to notice even more hair loss. Granted, it's not coming out in chunks, but like when I go like this, I always end up like with a piece of hair in my hands, which sucks because I already have really thin, fine hair because of my hypothyroidism. And so for me losing even more hair, like, it's kind of worrisome, but I just keep telling myself, at a year and a half, it'll come back, it'll be okay. But I'm still not happy about it, but I know it'll be okay. So let's see. One of the really good like non-scale victories I've had is, I work with kids, so I sit down on the ground a lot, and granted, I never had a problem like getting on and off the floor. Granted, it was a little hard because you have to pick up your whole body weight, but I could do it. But I could never like sit actual crisscross, because we tell the kids crisscross applesauce, and I could never actually cross my legs. I could cross like my ankles, but I could never like actually do crisscross. And I can do that now, and that's so amazing. And I know that's such a little thing, but for me, it's great because, you're just kind of you're more comfortable, and the kids can see you do it. And because I used to get asked a lot, oh, you can't cross your legs, and kids are kids, they're very, like, they just ask questions, and they're not trying to necessarily hurt your feelings or anything. They're just very observant. So, that was just like kind of like a big mile marker for me, I guess. I know that may sound funny to some people, but everybody has their own like little small things in life that they're excited to kind of accomplish. So because into all my weight is in my, well, not all my weight, but the majority of my weight is in my stomach. So I didn't think honestly that would happen till even later on to be able to crisscross, because my stomach does hang so low. So yeah, I'm happy about that. So back to my hair loss, I'm gonna try to up my protein. I know some people say protein helps. Other people say it doesn't matter what you do, it's still gonna fall out. It's just part of the process. But I already honestly have trouble getting in all my protein. So I'm gonna try upping it some and see if that helps. I know it may take like more than a week to see a difference. So I'm gonna try that probably for the next couple weeks and see. I'm definitely getting back into my measuring after kind of slacking off for the past 2 weeks with that, and that was another one of my goals this week. So I'm happy about that. Granted, I haven't been writing it all down because I don't know, for me it's just, it seems tedious. Like, I know it's important, I know it's something you should do to like reflect back on your, you know, like your hard days or whatever. And I have my spurts, like where I go through in like a week or two, I'll write everything down, then I'll write half the day down, or so I'm not really that upset with myself. Honestly, I think the most important thing is the measuring, because you kind of know in your head then how much you're eating anyway, as long as you can be completely honest with yourself and remember. If you're just gonna like measure it but not remember, I think that's when you should probably write it down more. But I do want to get back on that. I did it a little bit this week, but I didn't do it every day. So I'm gonna try to do it this week. Fingers crossed. The one thing that I've really noticed that I kind of like don't like is my butt's big, but it's flat. And since I've lost weight, it's gotten even flatter. And I've lost a lot of weight in my legs. So it's like I'll get pants that are really saggy in the butt, really saggy in the legs, but they fit on my stomach. And I can't go to a smaller size because they wouldn't fit around. So I really don't like that. And one of my students I work with noticed, she was like, you know, do you realize that your pants are that baggy, or are they supposed to be like that, you know? And I honestly thought it was kind of funny, because it was like, well, yeah, I've lost weight, you know. It kind of built me up and made me feel good, even though it was like a realization, okay, it's time to get rid of those pants. So I feel like I'm really in that kind of like in between stage where things really aren't fitting like I wish they would. And I think I'm gonna have trouble with that for a good while, since a lot of my weight is in my stomach, and most likely that is gonna be the last place it goes from, because I don't know if anybody else is like this, but you know, like, of course you know all the bones you have and stuff, but it's like the more I lose weight, the more I can actually kind of feel my bones and like, oh, like I have a bone there. This sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Like, I've lost a lot of weight in my shoulders, and I can actually now like feel, I guess, your collarbone and stuff. I mean, I could feel it before, but you more had to like press to feel it, where now I actually like feel it, like just barely touching it. The bad thing about that is a lot of like strap shirts or whatever just kind of fall down, like my swimsuit, like it won't stay on my shoulders. So, but you know, I'm okay with things not fitting right now, because that means I'm losing weight, and in the long run it's going to be worth it. Pretty much I really honestly had a really good week. Like, it was pretty much a 180 from the last 2 weeks. You know, I really put a lot of energy and effort into making this a better week, getting back on the wagon, doing things the way I need to do pretty much, except for writing stuff down. But just getting back into my exercise. It's like, you know, people say, like, honestly, this is a lifestyle change. Like, you're gonna have to exercise for the rest of your life. Even if you hate it, you're gonna have to, you know, somewhat count your calories. And so I just think the more I'm just like accept it and just do it, I think the easier it's gonna be to kind of, when I mess up, be like, okay, let's get started again. And it's okay. We all have those times where we mess up, you know, like it's natural. We're human. So, but I've had a really great week, and I'm looking forward to see over the next 2 weeks how much weight I lose, to see the total for the 6 months. It's flown by so fast, and a year will be here before I know it, and I'm definitely excited for the future. So many great things are happening right now for me. You know, I'm a certified teacher, and I graduated in December of 2008, and I still don't have like a permanent teaching job. Part of that is because the economy, even though Texas kind of missed some of the economy being hurt, it really hurt the teachers, and a lot of teachers got laid off. At job fairs, it was invited only for people that had got laid off, like internally. So part of it is that. The other part is, for several years I just gave up because I was so wrapped up in my weight and the things that surrounded my weight that I just didn't figure anyone would want to hire me anyway, honestly. So I just quit looking for a couple years, but now I feel like this is the year. This is the year that's going to be different. And I think I feel that because not only am I losing weight, I'm healthier, I have more stamina, but I'm also gaining more confidence in myself. And I feel like that's through the weight loss, but also therapy. Like I've said before, I would recommend anybody with an eating problem, definitely go to therapy. And it's not going to be easy, but in the long run, it will be so worth it. So, but like I say, a lot of amazing things are happening for me. I'm definitely looking forward to hopefully getting a teaching job. I'm doing a lot of volunteer work, getting my name out there to schools and stuff, and so far teachers are like really happy with me, saying great things about me. So like I say, like life is pretty good right now. I can't really complain. So I hope everybody is having an amazing week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.